there is a button. But I pressed, it says we've gone live. We've gone live. It is a Thursday. It is the time for the Local Support Kick Off. We have Sam, we have Ray, we have Elena, we have Michael, we have En Lee. Great to have you all with us. Yes, so let me just bring up maybe it's the Pivotal Tracker course that we use for local support. Now the ideal thing, and Ben, is it Ben?
Hi Sam, how are you? And everybody else?
Very good. Particularly now
I waited to put my cameras off.
Hey, no worries, no worries. Cameras entirely optional, and you know, I think I love using my camera, but no pressure on anybody else whatsoever. So yeah, as I was just saying in the async voter kickoff yesterday, like ideally with the kickoff, we get to the point where people are bringing stories to the kickoff from the tracker saying, let's vote on these and get them started. I guess we're still kind of getting ourselves sorted. I did manage to have a client meeting last Friday and see the client who was very pleased that we've got the reach skills thing pushed out. Yeah, so things kind of, I think I'm kind of getting on top of the pull requests. I know I've been a bit of a bottleneck in the past. Shall we just quickly go around, but rather than diving into any one thing, let's just check what anybody needs or is blocked by. We'll start with Ray. Just give us a quick overview of what you've done, Ray, and if you're blocked by anything.
Yeah, I've got one pull request I've submitted, which was just some refactoring. The only thing on that's an issue right now was that it had reduced the coveralls code coverage by 0.002%. It was a little bit confusing. But it doesn't seem like there's any actually decrease in the test quality there. The other thing that I've been working on is the events functionality with Stella. I think she might just need a little bit of extra guidance on how to split, like you were saying about the splitting out the branches and putting in the feature flags. I've explained to her about the feature flags thing, but there's quite a lot of work in there actually. In that branch.
Yes, it's getting bigger. Yes, well, we can talk more about that, particularly maybe if Stella will join. I'm trying to get this link and post it into the local support chat and flag Stella, but my Slack is taking over. I think I've joined too many Slack instances. I have to leave them. I think it's but yes, okay. So that's we've got points there from Ray about. So yeah, I think that, as we were talking about the coveralls issue that you're having, we could look at it in more detail, but I think it's ultimately not a big deal. But yes, we should definitely discuss this event branch. That we'll come back to those things. Now, Elena, just top level highlights. What are you working on? Are you stuck on anything?
Actually, I think at the end of the previous week, we will then submit our request, which was about that integrating map and volunteer ops list feature. We split the previous work into two parts, and first part we submitted. And I've seen you have reviewed it already. I've answered, and also I think I know what I have to do to complete this part. But this week was indeed very busy for me, and I think I'll get to this at the end of the week and and review. So currently, I don't think everything is all right. Just I need a little bit more time.
Sure. The audio is breaking up slightly, so I missed some of it, but it sounds like, yeah, you've just been busy this week and you're not particularly blocked. You kind of know what to do. Things are under control. Is that right?
Yes, totally right.
Yeah, excellent. My Slack is totally failing to come up here, so I'm just in the background. I am, good gosh. There's so many little things failing here. I'm just going to try and flag Stella in the local support channel, but that's great, Elena. Michael, I guess you haven't been particularly doing anything on local support?
No, not lately.
Let's go on then to En Lee, or Lee N. Apologies if I'm getting your name the wrong way. What's the best thing to call you? What do people usually call you?
In China, my name is pronounced like
Lee En Xiong.
So you're gone.
People will call me Lee. You can call me Lee.
Just call you Lee. Yeah, great. Lee. Yeah, how are things going with you? Are you stuck on anything?
Oh, I think there's two things blocks me. The first one is since I did not have many coding experiments, I just read some of books and follow the book, do some exercise. This is my first time to contribute a real project. So, so I wonder if any one of you would like to share something, how you get started when you first come to this project.
Sure. Yeah. So you're looking for tips on how to get familiar with the project.
And the second one is, I wonder why some video has an subtitle and some video did not have subtitle. I think if a video has a subtitle, it make me more easy to review it. Is it possible?
Sure. So, I mean, the only videos that I know that have subtitles are the videos from the course from AV 102. And that's because people have spent time making the transcript, making the subtitles. It would be great if all of the videos of all of the pairing sessions and the meetings on Agile Ventures had subtitles, but we don't have the resources to make them. Maybe that's something we should try harder to create, but it's a question of resources. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's much, particularly for me, I speak too fast with a funny accent, so much better to have subtitles. Maybe one day Google AI will, do subtitles automatically. Okay, so, well, yeah, we can kind of come back to that issue of trying to help you get set up, Lee. I think you've got the local support running locally, but you maybe haven't done a pull request yet.
I did not do my first pull request. I don't know how to get started.
Yeah,
sure. My first.
Okay, sure. Well, we'll see if we can help you with that. If we come then to Ben, how are things with you, Ben?
They're good. I mean, there's nothing blocking me. I'm going to be traveling for the next few weeks, so I won't be around. But when I come back, I'd like to be, do some more pair programming and get more involved.
Sure.
So that's why I checked in, just to let people know. And also, just if there were any questions about the mapping ideas that I had, I can answer those. So
yeah, great. Well, thanks for checking in. Yeah, that's go on, Michael.
I did want to mention that the videos do actually have auto-generated subtitles on YouTube if you watch them on YouTube. Under the settings bar, like the little thing that looks like a gear, if you click that, there'll be subtitles are usually an option in there, and you can click
right
English auto-generated, so they're not necessarily 100% accurate.
And they're particularly bad for me. I think my UK accent, just
because you're horrible.
I know, but there we go. But thanks, Michael. That's good. Yeah. So and Ben posted a link for that hopefully Lee will see. So well, it sounds like the things that we've got that are blockers. We come back to the stuff that Ray was mentioning. We could be trying to look at the coveralls thing. The event one is the most important, and I was really hoping to kind of work through that with Stella here, but she's not here. But maybe, I don't know, we can look at it together now, Ray, and then that's also, it might be helpful for Lee. What I would say, Lee, is maybe you could arrange to work with either Olena or Ray, and just to watch while they do some work, because Olena and Ray have got very experienced with the pull requests, and that would be a good, potentially good learning experience for you if you can find time that you're both free. So I guess what I'm going to propose that we do is, no one's telling me that they're particularly looking for work, so I don't know that we need to review the board or assign new stories, but maybe we can have a look at what's happening with this event pull request over here.
I think it would be great to be able to get that work somehow better organized, because I'm not sure whether I don't think I can contribute to that pull request now without getting someone to pull down the changes from my fork, or is there a way to commit my changes into that?
Well, that's a good question. I'm just trying to see if I thought I clicked on it. Is it not my? Oh gosh, my whole browser is kind of. Oh, we're getting there. All right, it's just being really slow. I mean, so we've got this this whole forks and branches and pull requests and working on different pieces that we. Oh gosh. And the repeat clicking process there has now taken it onto another element. That's so frustrating. I think I may have to just shut down my browser and rejoin the Hangout so that I can get anything going on here. Just give me I think I have to shut down my browser. I'm reminded there's a guy who teaches at New York's one university in New York who has a wonderful whole course on this whole DevOps, and we've got slides from him about this whole sequence of processes for working on these things. I think unfortunately I'm gonna have to shut my browser. I will be back ASAP. Just give me a second. Oh, come on.
He's gone. It's time for an awkward silence.
No, actually, Ben, may I ask you, how long do you think to travel?
I'm sorry?
Oh,
sorry.
no, that's okay. Probably most of the month of June.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I don't know exactly what my availability will be. So, but come July, I should be back in the saddle.
Okay. No, actually, I was thinking because we submitted our pull request and some commented it, and I think I need to change one file there, and then I think perhaps it would be wise to wait until this pull request will be merged with the main branch, and then continue working on our feature. So I think I'm off. Hello, Sam. I was asking about his plans and how long he was traveling because we plan our next request. Actually, I think that's also good for Lee because maybe I think it's not very wise to create one more pull request currently, right? If one is open, it's better to have only one open pull request.
Hey guys.
I'm not sure. There's a file that needs to be changed in the pull request.
Yes. Do you remember those changes to Git ignore? Actually, that was my mistake, and that was one idea to add those files. So I just removed those changes to that file and resubmit the request. It will take once I'll get to it. And I think perhaps while we were waiting for review and before matching this, I think it will take time, we will travel, and then we can continue our work on that feature. Perhaps, if you are interested.
I would like to work on the feature. I just don't think I will have time.
No. I understand. I think when you back after your travels.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. I enjoyed pairing, and that's why I checked in to let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I didn't want to drop completely off the radar without letting anybody know.
Yeah,
So,
good stuff. We appreciate that, Ben. Thanks. So can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm back. Sorry about that with my 1,800 browser tabs. Yeah. So there's this, process of making pull requests. So I think Lee is, stuck on maybe the level of how does he make a pull request, and so I think we do have some. I mean, I think that there are reasonable to GitHub making a pull request. So there is, I think, reasonable documentation from GitHub about how you can use their interface to create a pull request. But what it specifically requires is, as many of you know, is that you need to create a branch. So I've got here, like if I check out my develop branch there, and we've got the item in question, we've got this events branch here from Stella. So if I say git checkout, I've done git fetch. I've also got git remote -v. I've got lots of different developers repos. I've got Stella's repos set up here. You don't have to worry about that. That's how I can get it. So I can get checkout events, and I can get this thing. Now she's and possibly with Ray have pushed some other things onto events there since I last did it. I could pull those in, but that's another story. The key things I was hoping to draw Stella's attention to is that we like to try and have the branch name to be related to the feature that you're working on. So from the point of view of Lee starting off from the beginning, if you're on the develop branch and you pulled out the latest developed code and you wanted to start working on something, and this is then I think also for I think you've got this down pat, haven't you, Ray?
Yeah, I've more or less figured this out now.
Yeah, but so each of the stories in the pivotal tracker have an ID. I mean, the contributing doc does go through this step by step. I'm sure it could be improved, but say that we have some ticket that we're planning to start working on, and we've discussed that in the Slack chat with different people and say, oh, I want to work on this particular ticket, and everyone said, yeah, that's a good one. We really need that done. No one's had a chance to look at that yet. That would be great. Oh, watch out for this tricky bit there. Gosh, is everything so slow? But so, for example, say that we had here, automated posting to social media feeds, right? So there we go in here. I get the ID number of that there, and so we can sort of track it. I would do here like git checkout -p, and I would take off the little hat symbol and that, and then I would.
Sorry, I can see your screen.
Yes.
It's nothing. Just a black.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Can other people see my screen?
Yeah, I can. Yes.
Yeah, I can see the terminal.
Yeah, but not Lee. So Lee, maybe you want to turn your camera off. Let's see if I do. Yeah. So if you look at my screen, you can't see anything at all. Can you see my face now?
No.
No. Oh dear.
Nothing.
Nothing. So, I mean, this is all being videoed. I've just gone back to my face now. Can you see my face now?
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm going to go back to my screen share again. Can you see my screen share now?
No.
Well, I think you're maybe going to have to watch the video and listen back to it. The other thing you could do is try closing the Hangout and coming back in again. But I guess I'm going to carry on here for the benefit of the video, which maybe you can watch later. But so I'm looking at this automated posting to social media feeds. So I'm doing git checkout -b and then the ID number, and then let's say here automated posting, social media feeds. So this then becomes, I have a branch that's specifically for working on this feature or this bug fix or whatever it happens to be. I guess what I can also do, and Lee, if you really can't see them, I'll paste the commands that I'm typing into the chat so you have an idea. Like, so I just did this to create a branch locally, having, started on the develop branch, I branched off. So then I can start making changes in this branch, and as I make those changes, I can commit them to the branch, and then I can push them up to, git push origin, and then I can start typing the 131.42. There we go. So I can then, push once I've made my changes and I've committed them and my tests are passing locally, I can push that branch up to my GitHub repo in the cloud, and then I'm able to make the pull requests. So I can do that. There are command line ways to do it, but if one follows the instructions in from GitHub about how to make a pull request, if you're on your personal local support thing and you're in the code area, it probably, if you've just pushed a branch up, it will have an option. We go develop there. Oh, pushed. What's happened there? God, my browser's being really jerky for some reason. I don't know what's happening. The computer needs to reboot. But yeah, so you go new pull request there, and so you can basically say, let's go to let's type media. Do I get that branch? Or you go automated post there. Now at the moment there aren't any differences there, but so this is me getting set up. If I committed some changes, then I'd see those here, and I could go on and make my pull request. So now the thing that Stella has done, and other people do, and it's perfectly understandable. So Stella's worked on several of the events features, and so she had, I think, the being able to add an event, and she had that pushed into the her events branch, and then I think in a week ago or 2 weeks ago we agreed, oh yeah, now start working on listing the events, and Stella carried on, instead of opening a new pull request based on a different branch, she just sort of carried on pushing things into the same events branch. And that still works. I mean, when you push stuff into the branch, it gets added in. And so I think, as you were saying, Ray, we've now got lots and lots of files in here. And I guess, did you actually manage to pair on this with Stella, Ray?
Yeah, we did. We did two pair programming sessions on this.
Fantastic.
And it's been quite productive. I think the problem's been is that because it's Stella's fork, it's just if there's time zone issues or anything like that, it really does slow down the ability to work on any of the other events functions, because it's essentially introducing a bottleneck. Yeah,
I mean, so what should have happened? What should have happened is that the first feature should have I would have merged it in, but then as I was reviewing it, what I saw was that this basically introduces the new events navigation thing.
Yeah.
But we're not completed yet, so we need the feature toggle. So I held off merging in that first feature because we didn't have the toggle, but then she started building. So what we needed to do was get the feature toggle done before continuing to work on the events feature. Go on.
Right, and that's actually something that I've implemented in my fork, but it's now waiting on. I'm not sure. I've messaged her, but I'm not sure whether she's pulled down the changes or not yet.
Right. But so what you could do is, if you've got a fork, you could open a pull request from your fork.
Right. Okay.
And then potentially, and if that's got, because if you've been pair programming and you've got her commits on it, we could pull that in, and then that would remove the bottleneck. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, no, if you've implemented the feature toggle, so like what we've got here is that at the moment, this particular pull request has got 29 commits on it, which a lot of them are stellar. And then do we see there's one from merging from me, and then there's one from you. But so presumably your fork, Ray, has got all of Stella's original work, and it's got some of this. It maybe doesn't have these latest two, but
Yeah.
you can in principle. I mean, can I easily? Can we get you? Do you want to share your screen and just go through the process of making a pull request, which for the video might be helpful for Lee?
I'm not sure it's going to work right now. My screen setup is kind of convoluted. I should have thought about that before I opened the call.
Even if you've got multiple monitors, usually you can click screen share, and I mean, I can possibly even do it for you if we can find. I guess I can't open a pull request on your behalf, but do you want to just try clicking screen share and choose the smallest of your many monitors and see if it works? If it doesn't, that's not a problem.
Yeah, sure. Give me a second. I'll just close some of the extra windows I've got open.
And I can, impossible, I can even just take a copy of your branch and open the pull request myself if that's going to be simpler. But so I'm navigating here so is your branch also called events?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, so if we go, I can find your events branch here. So what I can do here, actually, as the kind of coordinator, is I can get remote add Ray there, and then I can do git fetch Ray, and then I will get all of your elements there, and then I could do git. I want to do git branch minus D, and I'm going to remove my local event branch, and then I'm going to do git checkout Ray slash. Let me do like that. There we go, and then git checkout minus B events. So now I've got a branch locally with events, and if I do git hist here, I can have a look and I can see. Yeah, so I've got the added feature flag for events appearing on the site.
Yeah.
So now I've got that one. I guess your screen sharing thing has looked like it might be challenging. Is that?
Yeah, it's not having a great time with this right now.
Yeah, then don't worry. Then leave that to me, and I can.
Okay.
And I'll completely manage it here. So what if I've got that? Then so the actual. Let's have a look. Let's see, find the thing that this should have been on. So I think is it already must have already started. Is there an event? Okay, ability to add an event. Yeah, here we go. So we've got here. This is the ID. So what I'm just going to do here is I'm going to check. I'm going to say this is now can add event. So this is the kind of branch name that ideally Stella would have been initially using to specify, quite concretely that this is the branch that's going to be for this one feature and only this feature, right? And we're going. So now I've got that. So what I can do here now, I use this thing called hub to open a pull request on the command line, but probably for the benefit of others, what I will do here actually is I will now git push origin. I will push up that particular. Oops. I'll push up that particular branch. Probably should have done it on my personal repo, but anyway. So that should now be available. If I now do a new pull request, I want to get back to, as you mentioned, local support. Oh, one little bit of news is I requested GitHub just add the Agile Ventures local support to be the head fork in our network of forks, which they did, which is very nice of them. Oh, and by the way, please everyone do star the local support thing, and let's see if we can get that going up. But you can see here now, because I've pushed this branch up, it lets me do a pull request. It's a little bit. There's other factors. There's if you're doing it from your own fork, then it might be a little bit different. So here, yeah. So now we've still got all of the commits, including your work and your most recent work there, Reham. So. Yeah. We've got this here. This is like an event. Lots of great work by Stella and Ray on. And then the key thing that we like to see is the URL. Now, maybe this is going to have bits of the listing thing in there anyway, but that's. But we want to have the very least, whatever you put in the description there. We want to have a link to what the ticket is on. So now we have that, and so potentially I could merge this, and then we could close the Stella's outstanding one, and then if you wanted to carry on working on something, if once I've merged this in, Ray, I guess is the event listing thing is kind of finished. Is there more to do? What else remains to be done? Do you think?
I'm going to have to check I think Stella's got 2 more commits I haven't checked yet. I just got to check where we left off on that. But
Okay.
I think a lot of that functionality, I think it just needs to be fine-tuned how it's displayed.
Okay, sure. No problem. Okay. Well, basically, in this case, if it ends up with these 2 features happening to have gone into the same, PR and the same branch, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
What we're particularly looking for in general is to avoid the branch and the pull request being long-lived. We want them to live very, very briefly and then be merged back into develop, so everybody receives them and gets updated to them very, very quickly. If we can do that. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. So I guess in principle that will unblock you and address your issues, Ray.
Yep, that does.
Yeah. So and feel free. I guess I mean, you just let. I mean, I guess the thing now will be just as equally. I mean, this is if you've got like a couple of commits and you can't get hold of Stone, and there's just a couple of things you could, take a fork, or you've already got this branch. You can add those, and you can open a new pull request, and I'll shut down my one and Stella's one. That's all. Neither here nor there. I guess the issue that we have is like the new code here for the what's it called? The new code here for the list may be generating new co-climate issues that we would want to deal with, or at least open them as tickets in Pivotal Tracker before we merge this one in. But there we go. So I don't know if that was helpful to anybody watching on. I don't know if Lee was able to see the video, the screen share. Maybe you can check the video link later. I'll make sure that the video link goes into the chat. What we could really do, of course, with Fragile Ventures is some lovely high quality videos showing this process and dealing with these different sorts of things, but that's another story. Okay, so is there anybody else needs help with anything?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, I think that's our event today. Yeah, I'll continue to be around. In fact, I'm away next week, but if you want to run the kickoff at the same time, in principle, other people can start it. But otherwise, I'll be back the following week. I'll be around on Slack very occasionally if there are issues that come up. Yeah, but there we go.
So may I ask you one question, please?
Sure, go ahead, Elena.
Yes, it's not preferable when there is only one pull request open at the same time, right? So like one pull request is created, committed, merged, and then after that it is a good idea to open one more pull request.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the idea is that as we're working through.
Hello?
Yeah.
Something?
I think Sam's dropped off.
Yeah, perhaps some issues with the browser and Google.
Yes. Hi, Sam.
Hey
Hi.
there. Gosh, my computer's really not having a good day of it. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
That just
Yeah.
that was an unplanned, just Chrome shut down and crashed. Okay. So as I was saying, I'm just trying to go back to, so we've got the tickets which have got the bugs and the features, and ideally one has a single pull request for a single ticket. But sometimes, as we did already with you, Elena, it turns out that the individual ticket needs to be split into smaller pieces. Again, each of those go into a single pull request, and ideally each of those gets merged. Now, sometimes we have a challenging situation where we want to work on something, and the one piece is relying upon the previous piece. So, for example, we've got your work on the maps, and so there's maybe the bit about popping up the tab or other aspects. So ideally, the first part will get merged, that will go into develop, and then the next thing would be branched off of develop and then built on top of it, rather than pushing all of them into the same branch and then all of them being in a single pull request. So we identified a couple of things here that needed changing. So the ideal workflow would be that you would quickly make I think that this could be merged in. The only change that we need is this thing about the git ignore changed, and then it could be merged in. And we use this process of merging. If I just here, there are these different options when we merge, which are one that you could create a merge commit that then ends up with this sort of branching tree. Like if I go back to here and I do git hist, you can kind of see there are merge commits create these sort of parallel histories in the git, and we try to avoid them where possible. Usually they should, here we've got this in the events, these will all be squashed down. If I check out the check out develop with this, what we're following kind of a squash approach. So if I do git hist here, you'll see that the history is there's none of these branching lines, right? It's all just one commit after another. And what we have is that then any single commit here corresponds to a single feature. So we can see there Fred doing one thing, Zmago doing another thing there. We can see one from Ray. We can see one from Sess. And it makes the history and seeing what's there much easier to understand. So, for example, here in this one, Elena, you had 3 commits of getting your thing working there, and there might be another one. When I do the merging in, our default is to use the squash and merge, and those multiple commits will then become a single commit, and then in the history here, that would just be one thing. And then, so when you would then update your develop branch to have exactly that, and then you would branch off of develop and do another one which has multiple commits, and then that will get merged in again. Does that all make sense? Maybe Elena, I think maybe you already know all about the different options for squash and rebase and so on. Olena, are you still there? I think we may have lost Olena, or maybe she's having audio problems. Anyway, I think her question was about, gosh, we're having lots of technical difficulties today. Question was about the process of one branch and one pull request for one feature. And yes, that's very much what we try and do. So Olena's lost sound there. So I don't know if that was helpful in answering your question, Olena. One can end up sometimes being a little bit stuck where, say that if I failed to merge in this one and Olena wanted to start building something on top of it, you can kind of branch, so for example, say that I was working on this feature. If I check out this, I could then git checkout -b. That's creating a new branch there. I could take this and I could say, right, I want to start doing my part 2, and I can take the branch off of the existing thing and then open a pull request from this as well. And that's possible, but then I have to be, the project maintainer has to be careful to squash and merge them in order, and it can create little merge conflicts and so on. So that's another thing that points us to trying to do small pieces of work in a separate branch and fixing issues with them, and then getting the project maintainer to pull them in quickly so that you can then always be branching your new elements off of develop. But my screen. Gosh, Ray and Michael, can you hear me? Can you see?
I hear you, and I can see your screen fine.
Yep.
So.
I can see the screen too, and I can hear you.
Okay, so well, I guess the recommendation there might be, Elena. Hopefully, the video will have caught the screen, and you can check that out. I hope it made some sort of sense. Yeah, we also had a lot of technical issues today. I mean, this I guess points us towards maybe we need to move away from Google Hangouts and find some different solution. Maybe we should be forgetting about trying to video these things and just doing it on Skype again, as we used to do back in the day. Anyway, I've got to go off now. Great to see everybody. Ben, do enjoy your trip or your break or whatever's going on. Yeah, everyone, feel free to please do reach out on Slack. And Lee, if you get a chance to work with Ray or Lena, that would be fantastic. All right. Bye for now, everyone. Take care.
Sam, I suppose you won't be around this weekend, or?
No, I'm on a camp this weekend. Okay. Yeah, maybe we need to look at working on some of the community maintenance support stuff during the week. Sometime weekends are a bit crazed for me at the minute, but yeah, we'll work something out on Slack. All right, bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.